Yes, please record. Oh, Roy. Dang, players. What a great setup. Mike. Let me adjust my little pin here, make sure she's straight. Like that. Oh, look at that. Bam, 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 bam. What? Like this? Yeah. Brilliant, right? Oh. Oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful morning. Oh, it's Good Friday, bro. You know what that means. Who are we thinking today? Who are we thinking today? Oh, player, that is good. But let's go here to make it better. Better. Oh. You back over here, player. All right. There it is. There it is. We're live. On this amazing Friday morning, which is the 15th, May 15th. What a magical Good Friday, lowercase g, obviously. The capital is reserved for one time a year, but every Friday we get a mini version of that. And red is the theme for today, which obviously is Good Friday, for the day of gratitude, Thanksgiving, just loving kindness. Treat yourself Thursday is loving kindness for yourself. Good Friday is loving kindness for others, man. This is the day that you buy the person behind you a coffee or whatever. I was going to say like a Starbucks, but I'm like, yeah, that's like $15 now. Where it used to be like, oh, let me buy the person's coffee behind me. Yeah, not anymore, bro. It's like, do I want them? No, I do not want to be paying $30. That's my Toll CT. We have an amazing show before we get out for the weekend. I'm so excited about today, man. Well, heck, man, let's just jump into it, shall we? Well, good morning, business builders, and welcome to Business for Breakfast. Well, business is the most important middle of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal in this show is to make you a 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkled with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. Now, I know you're not here for me. You never are. Because the most important thing that we do every day as owners is the morning mark. The great thing is there's no props required, no drinks, no gear. It's just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we've got. Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting, it don't matter. Pick one thing you will finish today. Not a list, not 10, not 3, just one. Now, mark it mentally, pop out, and write it down. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. This is the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal. It's the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, your Friday morning mark. Your day and weekend has officially started. All right, business builders, you drive, I dive, buckle up, buttercup, and let's roll. Let's roll. I had the most gnarly statistics test yesterday. That was never my strong suit. Statistics, yes, and a lot of you guys know I'm in school full time. My goal is to finish up my degree. I'm about 6 weeks out from this semester, and I think I should be able to have everything finished up. WGU for accelerated degrees is the greatest program on earth, but you got to have insane discipline, strong rhythm, um, and and super consistent. Like routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. Not just in life, not just in business, not just in everything, also in school. Routine is the key. Consistency of that routine sets you free. All right, all right. Now, so yes, yesterday I had a gnarly day, but talking about the morning mark, one of the things that I've been doing, which has been absolutely amazing, is when I start the day, I immediately envision myself laying in bed at night. And then I'm evaluating the day. And my future self laying in bed, I ask myself, what would make this day perfect when I'm laying in bed? What are the big, think about like a jar. You got to put the big rocks in first, then you backfill it with all the smaller rocks and then the pebbles. And that's just the priorities of your tasks, right? We all have big rocks that we're trying to get done. But then we've got like the also big priorities, but they're like smaller rocks, and then you've got the pebbles, and that's just a little tiny stuff that we've got to get done. And I tell you, man, it has been worsley for me because I can, a lot of times you think of the Jeff Bezos age 80 regret minimalization rule, right? By the time you're 80, looking back, make sure you don't have those decisions. But that you have to, you can't just wake up when you're 80 and do it. You have to have tiny micro accountability tests, I guess, or metrics that you're constantly evaluating against. And I'm telling you, man, this has been such a big deal for me. I've really, really been enjoying it. And I get to the end of the day and I'm like, oh my God, I got every big high level big rock. It's the big rocks, I got all the big stuff done. Because I'm envisioning at the end of the day, do I want any regret or do I want to? And I just envision throughout the day my feeling laying in bed at night, like, high five, bro. You did it. You got it all done. And I put myself there. So when, like today, I've got to spend 2 hours on the treadmill training for the bike ride. So you guys know this is the week where I have 4 scheduled workouts per week. And each of them um, is gradually, incrementally higher than the week before. So this week it's 4 2-hour high incline treadmill sessions. Next week it goes 2.5 hours, and the week after it goes to 3 hours. And then I'm like baseline ready to go for the bike ride conditioning because a 1 hour on at a walking at a good click with the treadmill pointed straight up, like over a 10 incline, uh, is like 2 or 3 hours on a bike. Because half the time on a bike, you're pedaling, the other half the time you coasting. You know what I'm saying? So training for this type of stuff is like, time under tension a little bit. But also, you guys see the shirt, it's Good Friday, but I want you guys to also, understand why we do what we do. And if you want to check out why we do what we do, you can go to ponzirelief.org. So a few years ago, Rebecca and I kind of came up with a heart project where we were, when we do accounting, we sit across the table from just the greatest individuals on planet Earth. And a handful of our clients got wrapped up in a Ponzi scheme because of an advisor I worked with. He had nothing to do with it. He was just as much as a victim of everybody else was. But to see the devastation and look these individuals in the eyes is, you can't recover from it, man. And so a few years ago, we just had this crazy idea, let's ride our bike across the country and do it to raise awareness for victims of Ponzi schemes and financial crimes. So we started pedaling against Ponzi's. And you can go on Facebook and check it out. And ponzirelief.org is the website. And so you'll see a complete refresh in the next few weeks of the verbiage because last year, what was one of the big things that we were working on was giving awareness to IRS Form 4684 Section C, which allows victims to quite literally get a dollar for dollar income credit. You can't get all of it back, but you can get a dollar for dollar income credit, and nobody knows this. And we're one of the few accounting firms that specialize in this. And so that's why we do this bike ride. And so Friday, for the bike ride, but you'll see, and down here you'll see it's just for the star grower family. So every year we pick a Ponzi to highlight. This will be the last year that we highlight the star grower. It's the one that started the whole thing. The guy that started it, his name is George Blankenbaker out of Indianapolis. They put him in jail for 5 years. They put him at Club Fed, where they get to go home on the holidays, and there's no gates or security around. They play checkers and chess all day long with some other guys that stole from retirees, and then they always get out 2 years early on good behavior. So you serve 3 years, pay your pittance to society. They've got all the money hidden in different accounts that are untouchable and unreachable to everybody. And so they just lay their head on the pill at the end of the night and have no issues whatsoever, although they stole people's entire retirement because they have no relationship to the individual. Yeah, that's the problem. And so I don't know, man. Like, I just want to give you guys a little bit of props on that. But let's jump into some juicy news. No, let's jump into this day in history because it is Friday, May 15th. And I don't know if it's going to be able to compete with yesterday, bro. Yesterday's was insane. This day in history, but today is not bad. Oh my God, dude, check it. This day in history, 1953, Jacqueline Cochran breaks the sound barrier. Flying a Canadian F-86 Sabre, Cochran became the first woman to break the sound barrier. For a pilot, her legacy is a masterclass in aeronautical grit and technical mastery. Amazing, man. This day in history, 1940, McDonald's is founded. Yep. Now, remember, it was not Ray Kroc that founded McDonald's. It was actually Richard and Maurice McDonald. And they opened their first restaurant in San Bernardino, California. While known for food, this was a monumental leap in process engineering and operational logistics, creating a speedy service system that redefines the business world like today, which the speedy service system, the triple S system that they had, McDonald's was the first one to be able to put out like great tasting burgers quickly because they kind of built the assembly line process when it came to this. Like, so they basically took a page from like the auto industry of the moving assembly line, and they just kind of brought it into. And then Ray Kroc, a few years in, comes in, and McDonald's has like 3 restaurants at the time, but he sees the vision. He sees how this thing can scale. And so Ray Kroc is the one that pushed heavy for the McDonald's brothers to start franchising. And McDonald's ended up doing something absolutely brilliant. The reason why, so you can see the fast food restaurants that tend to rank the highest on consumer surveys. Okay. For years and years and years, number one was McDonald's. Now it's Chick-fil-A. But you have to understand something. Both of these organizations literally have checks and balance in place to ensure the accuracy of what corporate wants. Okay. So McDonald's something in franchising that nobody had done before, where McDonald's buys the land that your restaurant sits on. You, as the franchise owner, own the brick and mortar on their land, and they sign leases with the owner. So if the owner does not comply with McDonald's corporate, they will not renew the lease, which means McDonald's gets the store back. Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah, bro. You spend, 7 figures on your first franchise. Psh, you ain't letting that thing go by the wayside. No. And Chick-fil-A, the reason why they have even tighter controls is because Chick-fil-A is privately owned. There's no such thing as a franchise. There's no such thing as an individual owning a store. They call them store owners. They're just managers paid, decent cash. They get like 3% of the profits. So a store manager is definitely making nice 6 figures. They don't own crap. You pay 10 grand for the right to manage a Chick-fil-A, but you are, mark my words, and make no mistake, you're an employee of Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has the tightest standards because they're all corporately owned stores. Uh-huh. So trust me, what McDonald's did was huge. This day in history, 1911, the dissolution of Standard Oil. Yes. In a landmark legal and economic milestone, the U.S. Supreme Court ordered the dissolution of Standard Oil Trust. I tell you, man, this is like the thing for me about this is Love and hate. And I understand why everything got broken up the way it did, but also understand that all of us across the world had affordable kerosene because of what he envisioned and how he knew he could build it and scale it to get the best pricing on supply and COGS to give the lowest pricing to you as a consumer. Same thing with Walmart. Love or hate, but Walmart basically supports the poor to really middle class. So no, yeah, love them or hate them. Complain all you want. You don't pay their people enough, whatever it is. You don't have it's whatever it is. Who are they serving? Stop looking at the company and start looking at how they are servicing customers. That is everything. Be upset at Bezos all you want. Yes, the dude is just insane wealthy and he owns 20% of a multi-trillion dollar company, right? But could you even fathom this world without Amazon? Like, not just one thing, but just Amazon, the first company on earth to start doing like a five-star rating system, which was unheard of, man, like unheard of. So, no, just stop being upset at the people because money, people that want to be rich never will be. Okay. Money only follows contribution. Did you hear me? People that want to be rich never will be. Money only follows contribution. The more customers that you service, the more money you make. They come first. Money is a byproduct. It is not the goal. It's a byproduct. Trust me. Change your mindset and your life changes, bro. Major world events. Today, 1955, the Austrian State Treaty is signed. Yes. Uh, this day in history, the first airmail flight in the US, 1918. No way. I didn't know we were flying mail before 1920. Whoa. This day in history, 1862, the USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture, is formed. I wonder if these um, are the same idiots that signed off and created our BS food pyramid that we were shoved down our throats in elementary school, taught that, swear to God, the thing that you're supposed to eat the most of is bread, cereal, wheat. You're like, how much do these morons each pay to be at the different tier? Like the guys at the top, like the amount of money you had to pay, like, come on, bro. It's unbelievable. Famous birthdays. Madeleine Albright, 1937, the first female U.S. Secretary of State. Oh, yeah. No way. L. Frank Baum, the author of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Shut up. Okay, first of all, it is literally one of my favorite movies. I am going to admit something to you guys. I did not know that started off as a book. And I know most great movies start at books, but this is the first time I even heard that The Wonderful Wizard of Oz was a book. That's insane. Wow. Happy birthday, Frank Baum. No way. My boy, Emmett effing Smith, Cowboys running back, born today, 1969, bro. You talk about him and Herschel Walker, and I know I'm partial, and I got a lot of those guys back in the day. I was way more into sports. Like you asked me today, I'm like, I can't tell you anybody. I can't even tell you. I don't even know the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. To be honest with you, I don't know his name. Is it he? I'm sure it is. But Emmett Smith, bro, I remember when he first started his career because he was so short. He's like 5'9" and he's like 220, solid muscle. It was like trying to tackle like um I don't know, like a log. And he was so insane on how he could cut. Now, once he after about 5, 6 years, you could start to see he went from, the GOAT to great. And by the way, that GOAT to great is a 2% difference. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Sports is the best place to see this because when it is on, the GOATs have an extra 2% that they can pull out and pull it off. But even the greats are better than anyone on earth. You get that, right? There's a 2% difference between GOAT and great. Oh my God, I got to write that down. That is definitely clippable. But Emmett Smith, today, his birthday, bro. Fun fact, fun fact, fun facts. Here is our national days. Remember, gold, silver, bronze. You have to rank them, put them in the comments. right? Anything that I say, by the way, drop in the comments. It's a new channel. So, hey, look, YouTube loves when you guys like, subscribe. And by the way, that's our agreement in our show. If you learn or you laugh, we have a handshake agreement. By the way, that's us shaking hands with rubber gloves. You just shook hands with me and you didn't even realize it. But look, I know you're a person of your word, just like I am. So I want to be here every day, making sure that I give you what I promise, and your job's to give me what you promise, which is a like and subscribe. Come on now. Can I get a woot woot? Can I get a you know I can. All right. Three national days. Number one, National Endangered Species Day. Okay, like, I mean, look, I'm not saying that that's gold medal. I mean, look, yes, but as soon as this morning, and you guys know I get creeped out big time by spiders. And this morning, and I don't know why, bro. I saw this like 30-minute little thing documentary about this lady, this girl. She's like a young lady. I say young, she's probably in her 20s, maybe 30s. But she like has a pet jumping spider. Okay. Did you know that like this is a real thing? People have pet jumping spiders, and supposedly they're like actually great pets, and they're like funny. They have personalities, and they're like bing 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 bong bing bing. Bong. Hey, Dad, what's going on? Like the only thing it doesn't do is roll over and let you scratch his abdomen. Like, but they're like little tiny micro furry pets, and they're supposed to be really cute. And I'm like, huh? For the first time ever, I'm like, okay, spiders aren't Satan's spawn. Okay, so I appreciate on Endangered Species Day. I do. Okay. But when I tell you the other ones, I think they're going to trump it. Okay. Number two, yes, National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. I know. I know. Endangered species, chocolate chips. Like we already know this for sure. As of right now, it's definitely gold. I mean, it would be unless you wake up every day and you literally have your own petting zoo, okay, you're going to put chocolate chips over endangered species. Okay. Now, which the next one is near and dear to my heart, which is National Bike to Work Day. That's right, people. But like I spent every second basically of the year training for an annual 6-week bike ride. So I spend way too much time on a bike. The funny thing is I don't ride a bike much during the year, but I'm gonna have to get out today, just say hi to the neighbors. But my bike, I use a very specialized velomobile, and it looks like a when it goes down the road, it looks like a blinking blue, bright blue bobsled, you know, fully enclosed carbon fiber. And so I dropped it off at the bike shop yesterday for its 2 week. He'll have it for 2 weeks, but it's the tune before I leave. He replaces everything, makes sure everything's dialed in, brand new tires, tubes, chain, tightens everything up, my brakes, everything, make sure I am ready to go. So if I got to rank these bad boys, I'm going chocolate chip cookies number one. Faux show. Okay. Number two, it's near and dear to me. National Bike to Work Day. And I got to say, third, not because it's not important, because it is National Endangered Species Day, right? Pretty amazing, huh, man? Great. This day in history. Now, by the way, if you guys want to know a little bit more about what we do and how we do it, you can go to accountingplusaccountability.com. We do this show for us, man. This show is designed for us, mom and pop venti shops. We happen to be servicing you guys for accounting and back office services for almost 60 years. We've got a pretty good handle on it. So if you guys have any questions about what we do and you want to talk about business strategy consulting, I've got this idea for a business or whatever, go to accountingplusaccountability.com and you'll see like a little gold button up there that says talk with Aaron. Or you can scroll down a little bit and ask a question. It goes to our question page. Either way, man, let us know. We want to hear from you guys. But today is going to be an amazing day for some juicy news. Juicy news. Juicy news. All right. Can't say it without singing it. Oh, thank God I'm a horrible singer. Because if I was actually a good singer, you guys would be like, bro, you are not in tune at all. And I'm like, bro, I can't even hear tunes. Okay. I don't even know what a tune sounds like. Okay. Meaning coming from my voice, I can hear somebody out of tune. I just don't know how to hear myself out of tune. But you don't even understand the news that's coming today. And don't forget, man, at the end, you guys remember it's magical. It's no, it was Magical Monday. Today is Good Friday. And so we've got some time here at the end for a little bit of Good Friday stuff. And then I have a insane reframe from Scott Adams, How to Reframe Your Brain. Wait, you'll see. It's gonna blow your mind. Your face and your head off your body. But we've got to get into some news because it is cray cray. Oh god. Number one, current administration wraps up high stakes summit with China's Xi Jinping in Beijing. Bro, if you saw what this dude literally brought business to this meeting. And he literally got the CEO of NVIDIA to jump on the flight last minute because we know NVIDIA supplies the world's AI chips, including China. The world's AI chips, including China. And so this dude, when Trump walks off the plane, he's first, and then he's got his posse, bro. It's like the movie Tombstone. Like somebody's got to take that picture of those guys walking off, and then make them like Tombstone. Oh, dude, you could tell this was not revenge. This was a reckoning. Uh huh. Yeah. Make no mistake, it's a reckoning. And don't you think that Venezuela and closing the Strait of Hormuz is not a play, since how both of those but basically provided China's 80% of their oil to run their country? Point four, I think it's 1.4 billion people. Yeah, bro. Like most of the world, or I don't know, fifth of the world's population is on that one continent. Insane, bro. Insane. But dude, they concluded their 2 days of talks. They've got fantastic trade deals, a major Boeing order from China, and progress on other issues. They talked about a reciprocal tariff of just 10% for both, reducing the tariffs. Xi warned that mishandling Taiwan could lead to a conflict and reportedly offered to help with Iran. Of course, he wants his oil back. He's like, hey, whatever you guys need so I can get that damn oil, right? You understand, bro. You can say what you want about Mr. Orange Man, but if you don't think that dude is always 5 steps ahead of you don't think he's always playing 40 chess. The thing that we do know is that our media is so horrible at coming up with reasons and excuses why we do what we do. We can see through that crap. And the funny thing is I feel like the news has always been the same, but really after 2020 and just kind of all of us waking up with all this, that it's not really what it is behind the scenes. Maybe the stories have always been the same and we were just so stupid we believed it. Now it's like Venezuela. Oh, we had to go take out their leader and fentanyl across the border. Are you a moron? Really? Because I thought most of the fentanyl came from Mexico and now because don't they border us? So you're telling me these barrels of those boats that we sank off of Venezuela, barrels full. You think those are barrels full of fentanyl? Are you insane? That one barrel would kill the entire world twice, bro. Like a tiny, less than a thumbnail of fentanyl powder ingested, and you're dead, bro. One barrel of fentanyl kills the whole world. Just dump it in the air, you kill the whole world, bro. I'm not kidding. Okay. So, no, it's just stupid. Okay. Like, oh, weapons of mass destruction. Oh, they have nuclear arms. Right. You're going to just keep giving us the same crappy stories. Tell us the real reason, administration. But anyway, let's talk about the news. Supreme Court preserves nationwide male access to, check this out, the abortion pill mifepristone. Mifepristone? This is actually a huge thing for everybody, man. I mean, business owners, all of us, we have real lives too, man. And so you can see here how current administration is not really far right. They are much more moderate, you know, like if you would consider like the middle party. Now they got to play to a base. Obviously, each party has to play to a base, but I would say pretty moderate overall. And this is a perfect example of that, bro. You guys have been hearing about the cruise ship that's stuck out there with the hantavirus outbreak, monitoring of 41 Americans across 12 states. So they're tracking the people potentially exposed, including the cruise ship outbreak, to make sure that it doesn't go beyond further than that. And I'm like, and don't you just kind of always wonder, like, are these little like bird flu, hantavirus, these like they're testing the waters to see how everything plays out? Like, will this bite? Will people buy into this? Will this bite? Will people buy into it? And it's almost like they're testing like, the new thing to basically control us. I don't know. But man, I tell you something that is enormous that is going on for us is, um, and we talked about this before, but it's the SBA launches their Made in America loan guarantee, which has a 90% backing. Yes. So the SBA has officially launched a new Made in America loan guarantee, offering an enhanced 90% federal guarantee on loans for small manufacturers and businesses across the food supply chain. Shut up, bro. Food supply, huh? Shut up. Because I know we're talking about manufacturing, but I didn't know it also included the food supply chain. Because David, one of my amazing customers, clients, friends in Missouri, is tapping into all of this right now because he's trying to buy a big manufacturing plant because he's a big manufacturer in Missouri. So this is a massive, massive win for us, man. The SBA makes you Gold Star borrower at your local bank. I mean, this is huge. And the difference between the 7A and the 504 loans is 7A because be used kind of for everything, but the interest is higher. It's like around 9%. But the 504 used to purchase like, like an actual business or a building or something like that. It's a little tighter to get into the 504, but once you're in, the terms 4% interest. Like, are you insano? It's crazy. Okay. Um, let's see. Oh, this is a biggie. The IRS handshake win 2000 reporting threshold is now permanent. No way that this is permanent. I knew that they had implemented this, but I thought it was going to be like, it's one of those like it's signed, but the next administration can change it. You guys know that as a small business mom pop Venti shop for years, we have been dealing with this looming $600 1099 nightmare. This was passed into like law like 10 years ago. Actually, I'm going to find out when. Let me find out exactly when. The requirement for when did it first pass? When did what year did this law first pass? Okay. 2021. Okay, so 4 years ago, the threshold was $600, okay, and it was passed part of the American Rescue Plan Act, and that the way they always do it. They give some stupid like name, and you think it's really great, but then literally they put in there like, oh, we're going to basically strangle all small businesses with reporting and all that because we know there's a lot more money that we can go get, and we're just going to put that all that strain on the back of the mom pop business owner because we just don't care, and because if they go out of business, it has job or how much money we make. Yeah, that's basically been the attitude of pretty much every administration. Uh, Rarely do you have somebody that venture so that's on the hill, opens up the drawbridge over the moat. They come out, they go down with the guards or Secret Service, and they're like, "Let me just go down to the village and see how the peasants are hanging out." And we're down here like, for the love of God, can you guys just come and hang out to see what we're going through? Like, you come down and you force us to pay your stupid taxes. Okay, fine. But then you literally don't even do what we need. But we're the one that puts you in the kingdom and in the castle. We are. What? How does this make sense? Current administration, I'm not saying Mr. Orange Man is coming down and hanging out with the peasants in the village with us. But I'm saying he's sending some people out to go check it out, and they've got the ear to him. So great news, man, because they keep implementing stuff that is like, I mean, it's like no brainer stuff. It's like, how could you not? But now it's permanent because the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, it officially ended the war on the gig economy by removing the $600 reporting requirement, which was for like Venmo, PayPal, all that. So literally, well, that was the 600 requirement for that, which is amazing because check this out. You guys know that as we all do business with Venmo and Cash App and all that stuff, None of that's been reported to the IRS. None of it. But for years, it was supposed to be, right? And then you were going to get a 1099, probably miscellaneous 1099 MISC, for all of the money that was Venmo to you throughout the year. And by default, it was going to be business income. By default, a 1099 MISC is a business income like report card. Yes. And you would have to dispute and basically say, no, this was basically somebody buying a couch or from me that I'd had listed on Facebook Marketplace. Yep, I swear. Yep. Thank God. Now it's $2,000. So, which is a huge deal, man. Like it's a big, big deal. Okay. So it's like now anything over 2,000, it has to report it, and you'll still have to do it, but they raised it big time. What else is going on in the news today? Check this out, man. What a great story. 76% of small businesses are now bypassing traditional banks. What? A record 76% of small businesses are now bypassing traditional castle banks in favor of non bank financing options like fintech and online lenders. Speed of decision making and simpler application processes are the primary drivers of this shift. Mm. Note to self, investigate. Okay. For line of credit. There we go. This is a big, big deal, man. For us, the lending landscape really has permanently changed. But even back in the day after '08 and all the banks went out of business, you start really the invent of a new industry called peer-to-peer lending, where you saw like great, great companies that come on and really started that entire thing. And now we've got even more, and it's like an actually established industry. And so, but if you're like a local, big and they're dragging your feet, you've got other options now. Like, and the really cool, like I always talk about David, but because he's going through the loan process right now, and so he's going through one bank, and then but they because the SBA kind of has their standards, but like all the paperwork has to kind of be pushed through a bank, kind of the same way big employers self-insure their own insurance, but they basically have an insurance company that pushes the paperwork. It's the same thing with SBA. So the SBA basically, does all that, but they push it through a bank for paperwork. And the bank also has their own limitations and rules of the road to get the money too, which is oftentimes more stringent than the SBA's. And so oftentimes you have to kind of shop around for businesses that kind of do that. And fintech is actually one of those that does really, really well when it comes to off the street, kind of like money, which is pretty cool. Let's see. What else is going on in the news? The news. Oh my gosh, bro. Okay, you guys watched this on Netflix last year, a couple years ago. The Alex Murdaugh like murder trial. Like it was on Netflix. It was like we had like Tiger King, which basically got us through 2020. And then a couple years ago, bro, the Murdaugh trials and watching this like we all know he's just a POS, okay? And I'm not saying point of sale system, by the way. And this dude, like, you just think, but I'm telling you, man, attorney, attorneys really kind of have it's the cheat code to society because they're the one people that are trained in law and like the law itself is if you know it, it is black and white. It's definitive. So attorneys do really well on that stuff. So when he got convicted, it was and everybody was like, yes, finally, attorneys go to jail. Guess what? The murder convictions have been overturned. Prosecutors plan a retrial. Bro, what? And it's going to be some technicality. They got it thrown out. Okay. And Alex spends every second scheming on how to get out of this. But the South Carolina's highest court reversed Murdaugh's murder conviction and the deaths of his wife and son. A new trial is expected. What? Mm, no way. FDA Commissioner Marty Macri resigns amid agency turmoil. The entire agency basically has to be gutted from the inside out. It's funny because the first 6 months or so, you heard a lot about Bobby Kennedy, and what he was doing, and the heads that were rolling. And now I'm just not. Now, I'm not saying that these dudes do not work 100 hours a week, but catching the news attention has not been top priority for Bobby Kennedy. So I'm really interested to kind of see what some of the latest things Bobby Kennedy's done in that new role. But the head of the FDA administration is definitely stepping down after weeks of internal pressure and controversy within the Trump administration's health agencies. Speaking of that, speaking of Mr. Orange Man, Trump Mobile's T1, the Trump phone, finally begins shipping. I swear. After months of delay, the 499 gold tone smartphone from Trump Mobile is set to ship this week. If you don't think that this dude knows how to freaking make money, you are just an idiot. You deserve this. You deserve a scarlet letter M for moron. You don't think this dude knows how to make money. Okay. All right. But I'm going to find out what this phone looks like, man. What does this phone look like? I got to go to images. Shut up, bro. What? I love it. It's so golden gaudy that I love it. I absolutely love this thing. It's got a freaking flag on it. Shut up, dude. This is just the greatest good looking phone. Wow. Trump Mobile. It's like a thing. Is Trump Mobile real? Is Trump Mobile real? Let's see. It's real operational wireless service launched June of last year by Don Jr. and Eric Trump. And so, no, it's legit. Wow. Unbelievable. Wow. Crazy. That is unbelievable. Bro, did you guys hear about GameStop's $56 billion approach to buy eBay? And dude, if they pull this off, it's going to be one of the greatest turnaround stories in history. And if you guys remember, GameStop was quite literally being shorted. And what saved GameStop was Reddit, and actually one individual who was paying attention and saw what was going on, and they were shorting it for no reason. And so he just goes on and starts buying it, and then starts doing a little thread, and says no, and gets all of his friends to go buy, and then it becomes viral, and everybody goes buys GameStop. And now GameStop is so huge that they have a $56 billion bid for eBay. Yeah. And by the way, makes total sense, right? Freaking all GameStop does is buy and sell crap. So if they had access to, I don't know, the world's largest place to buy and sell crap, I think to me that is a cohesive acquisition move. That actually does make sense to me. Biggest stocks we got to watch out for right now: Applied Material, Intel, Magnum Ice Cream. Yeah, not the condoms, the ice cream. There's a big difference there. Okay. Big difference. Bro, and I don't even know if you guys even been paying attention to AI. Obviously, you have, because the news today says that 56% of you owners are using it, which is amazing. Okay. But you understand that the first one in this space is oftentimes not the one that makes it in the end. Okay. First one in this space, we already know OpenAI, ChatGPT. Okay. And right now, between Sam and Elon, we are getting to the point where it's like X, X basically Grok, XAI has the potential to own chat or a big piece of it. Okay. And so, but regardless, we'll let these, zillionaires figure that stuff out. But if you haven't been paying attention, there's like 4 or 5 biggies out there now. And the one that I have been using mainly for a while, Claude. And after years as an also like AI, also type of Anthropic has pulled ahead in the AI race after focusing on enterprise users and coding. Bro, Claude is mind bending. And I tell everybody, like, if you had to go get one today, it used to be like, hey, just go get chat, $20, blah, blah. No, not anymore. Go do Claude. Go do Claude for sure. Um, it is what it has the ability to do. Unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. You will definitely like it. You will definitely like it. Let's see what else is going on. I told you, man, it is just a amazing day in the news. Fast Company puts this on X. Better team communication rarely comes from talking more, which I really have to learn. It comes from building cleaner agreements about how work becomes visible, how decisions move, and how uncertainty gets named. And by the way, this is, even though I love talking, and I get ripped on by basically everybody, our team, my amazing wife, all my friends, everybody. Then I get it. But in the end, this is not about talking more, it's about talking accurately. And I feel like, especially in the workspace, there are so many issues that happen between coworkers or team members, and a lot of it has to do with our own ego, like how we identify to the world. So a lot of times we're not self-aware, and so we get feedback. Like, if you're one of those people that just has to kiss everybody's butt and like make sure everybody likes you, that type of person has a very, very hard time um, having somebody that's in their circle that is just direct, no BS, no jokes. They don't give you an attaboy. They don't give you a warm feeling. They don't give you a like. Okay. And speaking of like, if you guys learn or laugh, which I know you have today, then we have an agreement. And you guys know the agreement. You have to like and subscribe. Okay. So speaking of liking, and so, but it's really unique because that individual ends up thinking this person hates them, when in actuality, you guys heard this before, the coach only rides the players they see the most potential in. So if your boss is riding you, and I'm not talking about like liar, liar, my boss is really riding me right now. No, not that. Okay. That's a different type of riding. Okay. But if it's riding like getting onto you, that means the boss sees something in you. They're trying to get you to, if the boss stops giving you correction, they've removed their hand of blessing and you are now on your way out the door. You now no longer matter. I'm telling you, bro, it's big. Okay. So communicating, learning how to communicate properly. Okay. Um, Meaning when you communicate a task to your team members, this, I'm speaking straight to you, business builders. Okay. Listen to me. When you communicate, list the freaking 5 W's: who, what, where, why, when, all in one communication. Oh my God, dude, my family is the worst at giving you like 3 words and then making you like bite. Like, okay, so what do you mean by that? Oh my God, it drives me nuts, bro. Like, it's just a joke that we have in my family. And I have a tendency, but because it drives me bananas. And also, I'm quite literally the laziest human I know. And so I hate back and forth. I'd much rather just give one clean set of directives that describes everything. It takes me some time, but I don't have to do this back and forth game because it's like, oh, I send this and I know they're going to respond back. And then I see that a couple of hours later. Maybe I don't even see it for the day and respond back. Oh my God. What can be explained in 5 minutes can take days to get communicated, and then still unclear. Yeah, still fuzzy communication. Not okay. No. Business builders, your job is to communicate the who, what, where, why, and when. Why? Because that's what you would want, right? Just do what you want for yourself. It is not hard. Okay. Just get out of your damn shoes and walk in their shoes and say, if my boss came to me and gave me a directive, how would I want it? Tell me what they want. And don't do this BS as a boss when you're giving directives. I need it ASAP. Stop that bullshit. Stop it. Give a real freaking deadline. Because what happens is if everything's ASAP, your team member does not know how to prioritize. Team member, if you have a moron boss that does that, I need it ASAP. By the way, I do that all the time. Your job's to say, okay, boss, hear ya. When do you need it by? Okay, boss, I just need you to know I've got these three priorities I'm working on right now. Would you like me to stop doing these, or can I do this after? Do you understand? This is just basic human communication, but nobody does it in the workplace. Why? I don't know. But if everybody just communicated the exact way that I just told you and stopped yelling and started having documents and said, hey, you just did this and made me feel like that. And if the boss, when something happens, if they stop blaming their people and actually look at the situation and evaluate it, that having the process and the mindset and the core value of we fail forward, meaning it's not ever a person that gets in trouble. We evaluate what happened, and then 9 out of 10 times it's a broken system or process, or there's no system or process at all, which means your job's to fix it. But bosses don't like taking responsibility, like blaming everybody. What? I just woke up and this happened to me. No, idiot. You caused it all. You caused it all. Okay. Man, man. Bro, Bloomberg's reporting in the months after Elon Musk closed on his $44 billion purchase of Twitter, there was a broad consensus that he way overpaid. Okay. But can we see how they're doing today? Okay. So let's just see. I'm going to Gemini right now. Please always be polite to your AI. Give me 100-word summary on this story and how X, Twitter, is doing today. Oh. Okay. Okay. Are you ready for what it's about to spit out? Come on, Jim. What's Gemini going to tell us? I love Gem just because it goes straight to Google. It's a direct into Google. Bro. What? What? What was their revenue the year Twitter was sold, and latest revenue figures? Okay. So, here's the thing. Acquisition, let's see, continues. Listen to this. Today, X is a subsidiary within a corporate structure valued at 1.25 trillion. Because SpaceX is about to go public, right? Following its absorption into SpaceX via XAI, while the platform's monthly active users have stabilized the 611 million. And by the way, that dude basically got rid of all bots. Like, listen, what I'm just trying to tell you. When they bought him, what'd they say? Like 30%, 25%. Like Jack Dorsey was doing this like 5% are fake bots BS, but you could never audit it. But it was like 25% of the accounts that had to do with their valuation, because they're all based on valuation of the accounts, was so hidden in code that you couldn't actually find it out. They were fake. This is 611 real. Bro, annual revenue 2.9 billion. Okay. It was definitely below its pre-Musk peak. Advertisers have returned. But let's see. So, the year Elon purchased Twitter, the company's generated 4.4 billion in annual revenue. Its last year revenue as a public company in 2021 was higher. It was 5 billion. Okay. So 5 billion. So 2021, 5 billion in revenue. Not bad. Not bad. But now, okay, 2.9 billion. Okay. And what I'd like to know is, what was the profit? Okay. What was the profit in 2022 versus the profit today? Because profit's everything. And they were bleeding money, bro. As soon as that dude took over, what did he do? He basically just canned 80% of the workforce, because it was bloat. Anything things that get big like that and you don't have a regular, pruning, there's major bloat. So 2022, 2021 had a $221 million loss. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, what's profit though? Profit. What's the latest profit numbers? Let's just see. Doing this together, guys. We're about to jump into our stuff, but I want to finish this up because it's such a great story. Oh, ho, 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 ho. We don't know because it doesn't report it because they're not public anymore. It's all wrapped up, so you don't actually know. But let's just say they've turned the ship. The revenue's not where it's at from a few years ago, but after the cleanup and getting rid of a lot of that, it's definitely doing well. Let's just say that. X is definitely, and you have no concept of what this do because he wants to turn it to like a WeChat, like what China does, and it already happens. Like you can right now, I believe you can already use it to send money back and forth. Already happening. So communication, money, it's going to eventually be like the one place you go to kind of for everything. So it's going to be massive, massive. But no, man, everything got folded into SpaceX and XAI earlier this year. So the entire structure is now valued at 1.25 trillion. So it's supposed to be supposedly the highest IPO, largest IPO in history, I believe. I don't know if a company's ever gone IPO valued at already over a trillion, but pre-IPO. Like that's insane, right? So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how that all turns out because I'm still predicting, bro, that you're going to see once it does that Tesla and SpaceX merge into one. The two companies already are so intertwined and borrow resources so much that it just makes sense that it's underneath one umbrella where it's just basically it's the updated Standard Oil, okay? Just the conglomerate, the blob that basically runs and rules everything, space, earth, communication, everything, right? So, but man, I told you that it was an insane day of news, so much to talk about, but don't forget, man, today is Good Friday. Okay. So, and here's the thing. You guys have questions about what it is that we do, go to accountingplusaccountability.com. We talk business news every day. This show is for us, mom and pop venti shops. We get our teeth kicked in every day. We just feel like we're just a misfit trying to navigate this world. So we do this show to get all of us misfits together and hang out and we learn, we laugh, we get inspired, we get encouraged. And it just kind of today is just to set our day, our day going in. So that way today it's just a little easier for you guys. That is why we do this show, right? And Good Friday, man, is probably my favorite day of the week. Oh, let me take that back. Wasabi Wednesday because I love tea and gossip. So Wasabi Wednesday is definitely my fave. But Good Friday, I love, love, love loving other people. And so you guys know we start our Good Fridays with a unified. We open and close with a universal prayer. And so what I say when we do this is from this book right here. Okay, and then we'll do our Scott Adams lesson in a second. Right here, this little book right here. A couple of things in here changed my life, and greatest salesman in the world. And in here is a little quote on loving people. To each whom I confront, I will approach in only one way. To myself and in secret, I will say, I love you. Right. Uh, and you guys understand. I mean, if you guys are a Jesus freak, if you are a Christian, if you believe, you understand that we are called to love the unlovable. It's easy to love those that are your friends and your family and people that you love. That's easy. That never identifies you as being a believer or a follower. It's in how your ability to love those that persecute you, hate you, come after you. How do you love them? Yep. And so, but can we thank some customers? So today, I'm going to give you three suggestions on who to thank today. Number one, the first customer, the oldest customer you have, call them, send them a thank you note. Just wanted to thank you for hanging out with us for all these years. You know, really appreciate you. If you've got a vendor that just really, really goes above and beyond and takes care of you, thank them. They want to hear it. They might not tell you, but they want to hear it, right? Um, to be honest, man, like, and if you're thinking about loving the unlovable, loving those that persecute you, who can you thank for something that happened to you that when you looked back, it was really bad when you went through it, but you're glad it happened? Because most of the things that happen to us that appear to be bad, if we have the mindset that things don't happen to us, happen for us, that forces you to say, okay, it looks bad, but I'm going to sit back and just wait, let the dust settle. Because, yes, the hurricane happened, but there's always a rainbow after the hurricane. Because you have no idea how many things I've gone through that are insanely stressful, but I wouldn't go back and change it because I'm so grateful that it happened. Um, and I know that like last week was National Teacher Day, but man, like there are some people that really gave me a lot of grief that I'm so grateful for, including Mr. Stewart. So in middle school, I had a amazing. And by the way, teachers, just so the teachers that change the most lives are not high school teachers. Nope, it's middle school. Middle school teachers, and yes, they are the biggest pain in the rear of all the kids, but that's quite literally middle school teachers. If you actually understood that you're actually changing lives and forming individuals, because by the time they get to high school, that's already set, right? It's easier, you have more fun, but middle school. And so I've got a couple teachers, especially Mr. Stewart. I gotta be honest with you, man. He changed my life. But he was very tough on me. And one day in class, Mr. Stewart had a slight cross eye, slight. Okay. But I was very insecure as a kid and I took a lot of prednisone. And so I was like one of those high seasons, I would bloat up because you can't stop eating. So I was pretty chunky. I wouldn't say like I was a fat, obese kid, but I was just chunky. Okay. And made me very insecure. And so I'd made a comment, and the kid that sat next to me, his name was Eric. And Eric and I were friends and maintained friends for years later. But Eric was severely cross. And I remember one day I looked over at Eric and I said, "Oh, Mr. Stewart looks at me the way Eric looks at me." And I said it out loud. Mr. Stewart heard me. And he said, "Well, at least um, Eric doesn't have to wear a bra." Poop. Mic drop, bro. Humiliated. But he taught me a lesson. Knocking on people hurts, bro. Knocking on people hurts. And I don't want to hurt anybody. And so, absolutely unequivocally changed my life. I guarantee if I ever had the ability to go, and if he's still alive, man, I hope he is, man, to have the ability to go tell him how much I appreciate him for pouring into the kids, because he's one of the most important people in my younger life. Thank you to the teachers from last year. Thank the person who rips on you. Thank the coach. Thank the boss that's ripping on you. Because remember, the coach only rides the people they see the most potential in. The only reason why he said that is because he saw potential in me. Thank those people. Okay. And you guys know we finish out with a final prayer. Thank you for the work. Thank you for the customers who chose me when they had options. Thank you for the team that shows up. Thank you for the family that tolerates the late nights and the early mornings. Thank you for the lessons hidden inside the losses and the humility hidden inside the wins. Today, I will be useful. I will be kind, and I will be glad I was here. And can I get an amen? Now, bro, I mean, I did have a great reframe lesson today, but to be honest with you, I don't know, man. My spirit just says that is how we end it, man. What'd you guys think of today's show, dude? blow your mind, your face, and your head off your body like I knew that it would. Because, bro, if you don't even know, but bro, um, this show is for you. And to be honest with you, this show's for me. It sets my day, man. I get addicted to this, bro. And trust me, I'm so new. Nobody actually shows up and watches me live, and so a couple like long lost lot like just patriots that hang out with me, especially like Justin. Every day he's on, he's like, "Bro, your audio is good." He has no concept of how appreciative and how much ministry he is for me, helping me suffer less by being on and telling me that. And so but I told you guys, man, and everything we talk about, man, all the ideas, the strategies, everything that we talk about, you guys have to remember your mindset is everything. If you think that it's hard or you think that it's easy, you're right. Okay. You guys have to remember every day we work in the business, but you have to spend time working on the business, making sure you mind your own business. All right, my beautiful business builders, you got the news, you got the tips and tricks. Now go own this day. My name is Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you guys know what time it is. It's time to get to work. Kapow!